Alright, Cancer Cup will start next week, which means some people will be ready to prep for the Leo Cup, which is what we'll talk about today. I made this video and uploaded it prior to this, but I was informed that I gave too many wrong information regarding how certain things work. I had brain farts, I was extremely busy with life that I didn't check certain things thoroughly, and my intention is to not give misinformation, so I decided to take that video down and redo it. I am sorry, it was my fault for not checking certain things carefully, and I will try my best moving forward to be more thorough. I am still learning the game also, so bear with me. I am sorry. Alright, let's get into the logistic of the Leo Cup now. The Leo Cup is a medium track of 2200-meter Hanshin race course to be specific. It is also clockwise, so right-handed, summer, sunny, and firm condition. Something to know about this track is that there's 3 straight, 4 corners, and 2 uphills, as you can see up here. Let's talk about stats. Stat, you want 1200 speed, obviously. The stat threshold this time will be on speed, so that you don't need to go like 0-1 of something to get the hidden stat boost. It is on speed this time, and since we're planning on maxing it anyway, we don't have to worry too much about it. Because it's a medium track, stamina value goes up. 850 to 1000 plus is what you want to aim for, and I will recommend at least 1 gold recovery skill. You can go 2, just to be extra cautious, extra consistent against nice nature and other debuffer, which I'll talk about later on in the video. But generally speaking, 1 gold recovery skill will be fine. If you're really cautious though, you can go 2, but I would recommend just going 1 gold recovery skill in that case. For power, you want 600 to 800 power. I would not run any power card unless you're a whale or if your cards in your deck has very high limit break where you can hit the speed and stamina threshold while being able to run power card. Generally speaking, for free to play and low spender, I would not recommend running power card. You'll get the 600 plus just by running speed to 1200 anyway because you get power as a secondary stat, so this part shouldn't be too much of a problem. Same thing for gut. You'll hit the 300 to 350 threshold just by simply training to the stamina requirement up here because you get gut as a secondary stat when training stamina. For wit, you go 300 to 600 depending on your strategy. I would say that every strategy besides frontrunner can get away with around 400 wit. If you get 300 wit, it's not the end of the world, but preferably you want around 400-ish. Frontrunner, you generally want to invest a bit more just so that you have higher chance of activating your skills that's crucial for your strategy, and then also have a less of a chance of getting rushed, and then also a better positioning in the early race against other frontrunner. Let's go ahead and talk about Frontrunner now. Frontrunner, the strategy is revolve around angling and scheming, Seiyin Sky's unique skill, and then also groundwork. You want to stay in the first position towards the later portion of the race, and then activate angling and scheming, and then you'll excel through to the finish line being in the first position until you win. And then groundwork makes it so you stay in the first position early on in the race to maintain the position to activate angling and scheming. Other unique skill good for Frontrunner is Redshift from Marusensky. And then as I mentioned earlier, Swinging Maestro, generally the best gold recovery skill for you to get for every position, just because you can get it from the really strong stamina card of Super Creek. Front runner corner, medium corner being really good skills, and this one very decent yield, very consistent yield for this race, especially with 4 corners, a lot of opportunity for you to proc these skills. Fast pace or escape artist, really strong front runner skill as well. If you can unlock escape artist, definitely would recommend it, but I think you can only get it from Seiyin Sky Stamina's card, so if you don't have it, don't worry too much about it. Corner Adept, Professor Kurcha, also very strong, and most people will have Kitasan Black or will borrow Kitasan Black anyway, so they'll generally hit this. It's a very nice speed skill, I would definitely recommend grabbing that. Leader's Pride, not the best skill, but it is a decent skill for you to have a chance to activate groundwork, because one of the conditions for groundwork is you have to activate 3 early race skill. So outside of getting these 2, your next priority after having these 2 skills is to have the 3 early race skills requirement to proc groundwork. Generally speaking, this is the easiest way to do it is through green skills here. I highlighted them, these being the best ones: Summer Runner right-handed granting you speed, Hanshin Race Cord and non-standard distance granting you stamina, and then Firm Condition gives you power, Sunny Day gives you gut, Front Runner Savvy gives you wit. These are guaranteed proc at the beginning for this Leo Cup specifically, and then there's also some conditional one that depending on the specific condition of the race, you might or may not proc it, but generally I would go for these ones, grab 3 of these in order to activate groundwork. But then another skill that outside of green that can activate groundwork is Leader Prize, like I mentioned earlier. Not the greatest, but it is a skill that can help you activate groundwork if you're missing some of those early race skill. Focus, concentration, it's a bit gambly because you have to pray to God that you have a slow start for you to activate this in order to proc the one early race skill for groundwork. Front runner straightaway, medium straightaway. These straightaway skills are a bit better compared to the Cancer Cup, but it's still gambly. It might have no value or it might have decent value depending on which straight it activates in. And some of these other skills, I'm not going to talk too much over about it, or otherwise this video will be 50 minutes long and I don't want to do that, but I'll include the spreadsheet in the description down below for you to check out yourself. In terms of Summer Marzenski will be the best front runner for this Leo Cup. I would like to mention that if you do plan on running Summer Marzenski, I would start prepping your other two Uma for the Leo Cup now, because there won't be much time between the end of the Cancer Cup to the start of the Leo Cup. And Summer Marzenski is released near the end of the Cancer Cup at October 14th, so you won't have much time to prep for her. And if you want to prep for her with groundwork inheritance and then all these other stuff, it's going to take a lot of investment, so I would focus on training your two Uma now if you have already finished prepping for the Cancer Cup. Summer Marzenski, really nice because her unique just basically help you maintain in the first position even more. It's for you to activate angling and scheming, which makes her really, really strong. One of the conditions for this skill is for you to activate a recovery skills. And you, generally speaking, you'll want to go Swing Maestro for the gold recovery skill. But if you're afraid that the Swing Maestro might not activate in any of the instances of the race, you can go for a white recovery skill as an extra just to proc the unique for this, because this one is pretty significant. I would definitely grab another, I'll at least grab another white recovery skill just so you have a backup in case Swing Maestro does not activate. Singing Sky also really nice because she innately have angling and scheming, and also just a very nice front runner horse in general. These are some other horse. This is not an exhaustive list. You can certainly go other ones, but this is probably the best few that I can think of. If you go Summer Marzenski, obviously you can't really grab Redshift reliably because you can't use Marzenski as a parent. You can have Marzenski as a grandparent and get Redshift there, but then that requires a lot of RNG through inspiration also. But I would just go for Saiyan Sky as a parent, and the other parent would just be whatever that's really high affinity while also having really high medium pink spark and also very high blue sparks or groundwork sparks, for instance, right? Saiyan Sky, same thing. You just borrow Marzenski and then another Uma with the same thing that I mentioned earlier. Let's talk about page. Oh, not talking about page. So we talk about the cards first. I'm not gonna talk about every single card, so otherwise this video will be like again 15 minutes long. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm gonna talk about some of the more noteworthy one. Silent Shizuka, really nice speed card for frontrunner. A lot of frontrunner skills such as Leader's Pride, Final Push, and Unrestrained, which is a really strong gambling skill for frontrunner if you decide to go that route. Frontrunner Corner, Focus. There's some frontrunner Savvy, so there's just a lot of good skill for frontrunner. So this is a card that's definitely taken into consideration if you have it. And then Saiyan Sky. Stamina card also gives you I think the only way currently for you to get Escape Artist, which is really, really nice. Satono Diamond, funny enough, actually a pretty decent card, stamina card for this Leo Cup specifically, because she has Firm Condition, Sunny Day, and also Medium Corner as her hint as well. So generally a very good card to grab for every position if you have her, and that's something for you to consider as well. Power card, I'm not gonna talk too much about it because it's mostly for the whale, and the whale probably know what they're doing anyway. But with wit card, I would not recommend going wit in any running wit card in any other strategy besides frontrunner. You can if you know what you're doing and you can effectively do career, but most people I would stay away from wit cards in general. Even for frontrunner, if you're not proficient with career, I would just run 4 speed 2 stamina and not go wit. But if you know what you're doing, wit card can definitely work. Most notably, some good wit card is Agnes Tachyon will give you medium corner and medium straightaway as a hint. Marvelous Sunday can give you Hanshin Racecourse as a part of her event chain, and then Matikane will give you right-handed as part of her event chain as well. Fine Motion can also give you right-handed, but that one's more gambly, so that's up to you if you want to go for the gamble route or you want to guarantee the right-handed. Pretty much guarantee the right-handed from a weaker wit card. Alright, let's talk about Pace Chaser. Pace Chaser was in the dump in the Cancer Cup because they don't have any speed skill uniquely for them that's really good in that track. But happy to say that Pace Chaser stonk has gone up because stamina value goes up as well because being a longer track. So you need more stamina. And Pace Chaser, the beauty about Pace Chaser currently is that they have 2 gold recovery skill, very good gold recovery skill up there with Swing Maestro, being Gorman and Race Planner for a lot of these Page Chaser Uma. I'll recap Tokai Tail anime collab and special week, being able to unlock Gorman past a certain potential level for their kit. Agnes Tachyon, also a really good one. Her unique skill is already a recovery skill as it is, and also she gets Race Planner in potential 5, I believe. Super Creek also recovery skill as a unique skill, and also Swinging Maestro unlock innately for her at potential level 5. I will say, because if you do run Super Creek, you will not be able to run the Super Creek Stamina card, which may or may not be a good thing, because Super Creek Stamina card is just really good as a stamina card, probably the best one in the game currently. But the good news is that because you can't run Super Creek, it allows you a bit more flexibility with your deck building. But generally speaking, I think it's a bit of a debuff because this Super Creek Stamina card is just that good. Fuji and then Naruto Brian is also decent. This is not an exhaustive list, as I mentioned earlier. You can run other Uma, but this to me just feels like some of the better ones. Green skill, nothing changes really. Unique skill outside of Redshift from Marzensky. There's also Shooting for Victory from Taiki Shuttle, also a really nice unique there. So if you run a Page Chaser, I would just run a Marzensky parent and also a Taiki Shuttle parent. If you don't have one of these, just choose one of them as a borrow parent, whichever one has a better sparks and all that. And like I mentioned earlier, you have mostly you have 2 options of the gold recovery skill, because some of these you will not be able to hit all of them. I know Agnes Tachyon, if you have the special week speed card, you can get all 3 of these options if you really want to, but generally, like I mentioned earlier, you can just 1 gold recovery skill will be fine most of the time. But if you do plan on running very, very consistently, have a very high safety net and running 2 gold recovery skill, Page Chaser will be the easiest one to do that because of having more option of gold recovery, very good gold recovery skills. Medium corner, Page Chaser corner, Professor Cursor. These will be your best speed skill for Page Chaser that doesn't require any gambling of some sort. It's very, very good. Some of these gambling skills, like I mentioned earlier, you can take a look at it in the sheet later. The cards, some of the more noticeable one is special week event card. I know most people probably won't have this because this event is like the first event of the game. I don't even have this myself, but it does. If you do have it, consider using it because it can grant you Gorman, which is really, really nice. If you have Agnes Tachyon, you can just run this without Super Creek, and you have Race Planner as an option and Gorman as an option, which is really nice as well. Nishino Flower speed card grants you Page Chaser corner as a hint. And I don't think many cards actually give Page Chaser corner currently, so she's one of the better one. Tokai Tail speed card just can grab you Shrew Step, Nimble Navigator hint, and generally the event chain just give you a decent amount of energy, which is really nice. The stamina card, nothing really changes. Power card would not recommend for people. Wit card generally would not recommend for Page Chaser unless you know what you're doing and you can hit the stat threshold by running a Wit card and losing a speed or stamina card in that regard. Now let's talk about Laysearcher. Laysearcher, generally there's not that many good ones from what I see. Michio Ryan and Baka, you can still run them. So I put Summer Special Week in here. Personally, I think she'll be pretty decent as a Laysearcher, but I think she'll be better as an end closer, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But for Laysearcher, outside of Redshift and Shooting for Victory, you also have access of Let's Pump Some Iron, which is generally probably the best one. I would prioritize this one over these 2 before anything else. Swing Maestro, obviously, still really mandatory. 1 gold recovery skill, I would consider it mandatory. Laysearcher corner, medium corner, really nice. And then there's some Laysearcher skill specific one. Slick Slurge or upgraded version of On Your Left is definitely something you want to prioritize the most because that is the best Laysearcher skill currently in the global server. Professor Curvature you can go as well. Highlander with uphills, decent. And the green skill the same as always. I'm not gonna talk too much about the Ace Uma because they're not that. I don't think they're like that strong specifically. But what I will talk about is the debuffers. Specifically, Nice Nature stonks have gone crazy high with it being a medium track. Nice Nature was not that great for the Cancer Cup because, first of all, you don't get Mystifying Memory, and all you get is All-Seeing Eye, and then because it's a front runner heavy meta, you won't really hit some of the front runner up front anyway with this because it's based on Nice Nature field of view. So Nice Nature was not that great for the Cancer Cup, but her value is going up now because more Page Chaser will be running, and then also having the ability to unlock Mystifying Memory is targets every person ahead of her. that's not just a field of view. So having two gold debuff skill being able to activate for this one makes her really, really valuable. And then you also just run other debuff skill for each position, hesitant, front runner, phase chaser, whatever, right? There's certainly other debuffer option as well. Grass Wonder and Symbolic Rudolph with Dominator with upgraded version of Tether is also really, really nice since it can only activate in the medium track. Air Group can also work, but it's probably one of the worst one because she innately only have 2 end closer debuff, nothing too special there. But if you want to run her, that she is a option. I will say Laserger Savvy, specifically for Nice Nature, you might want to consider because, as I mentioned earlier, All Seeing Eye is based on a field of view of Nice Nature in front of her. So some of the forces at the very front, or if you get too far apart, you might not hit people with All Seeing Eye. With Laserger Savvy, you can increase the field of view, so you can potentially hit more Uma through that. For the cards, there's nothing really too fancy. I think Tamano Cross Stamina card just give you some Laserger skills. I will also mention that Grass Wonder is a bit unique. You can run her as an ace, you can run her as a debuffer, or you can run her as a hybrid. And I kind of like the hybrid version a bit more because you can run Dominator, which is really strong debuff skill, while also running the rest ace skills afterward. Because Grass Wonder is the only one innately that can have the upgraded version of the best Laserger skill currently being on your left. The only other way you can get it currently is through a winning ticket gut card, which is not ideal to grab for your deck. I know the Nice Nature Wood card will come soon when it has that, but that's like towards the beginning of the Leo Cup, which is not really reliable at that point. So hybrid Grass Wonder will be something to worth considering in my opinion, if you do plan on running a Laserger. Alright, End Closer is a bit of a funny one. So unique skill, nothing changed on Laserger. Let's Pump Some Iron will be the most priority one, and then the other one you can choose between Red Shield or Shooting for Victory. Swinging Maestro as your gold recovery skill, generally the easiest one. End Closer Corner, Medium Corner, Professor of Curvature, and then they're all really nice still. Highlander, I don't know why I have it twice here, probably a copy and paste mistake. But then there's some other skills here that you can take a look at yourself. Green skills the same as well, but then I know to hear that you should not get Straightaway Spurt, and I know some people will think I'm trolling because Straightaway Spurt is legit End Closer best skill. But if you look at this, Straightaway Spurt legit gives you no yield, and that is because Straightaway Spurt can only activate at the last spurt, cannot activate in corners, and so that means the only time it can activate is through this last straight here, and there's not many distance left towards the end of the race, so the Straightaway Spurt is pretty much useless in this race. But that does not make it so End Closer is really, really bad. End Closer has an inherent advantage this race simply by being End Closer. And the reason for that is because Nice Nature value goes up, more people are going to be running Nice Nature, and End Closer gets to dodge both of these gold debuff skill from Nice Nature. Does Mystifying Murmur only affect girls ahead of them, so any girls ahead of Nice Nature, End Closer being behind her does not get affected by Mystifying Murmur. Same thing for All Seeing Eye, and the field of view is what she sees in front of her, so you can't see behind her unless she has an eye in her back. It will not affect End Closer for that. So they are really good because they can dodge both of the really nasty gold debuff skill from Nice Nature. You can still run Naruto Taishin, you can still run Ghost Ship if you want to, but two of the ones that people generally think is probably better is Wedding Mino Top Gun and Summer Special Week. Wedding Mino Top Gun, you can run her as a standard ace, you can run her as a debuffer, or you can run her as a hybrid. She can run her as a debuffer because she, at potential level 3, she also unlocked Mystifying Murmur as well. And most people will say that you should train her as a hybrid, where you just run Mystifying Murmur and then the rest just ace build, just running these skills here. Her being an End Closer position allow her to tag some of the End Closer with Mystifying Murmur as well, depending on the position she is in, which is really, really nice. Summer Special Week, just a really strong Uma for this Leo Cup in general. Her End Closer rank is a C, but all you need is 4 End Closer Pink Spark in order to bring it up to an 8, which is not that difficult. And because she's generally really strong as a Uma for this cup, putting her in the end closer position allow her to dodge Nice Nature debuff, which makes her significantly better in the end closer position because of that. For cards, there's not much difference here. I don't think there's any different. I think Naruto Taishin I added because she can get Lone Wolf and also end closer corner. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, comments, or if I didn't explain something well or I said something wrong again, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. I'll try to address them as soon as possible. I'll get the specific strategy guide video out where I talk about these specific strategy in more detail and how to approach training them. And hopefully starting next Friday, I have a lot of schoolwork still have to catch up on, so hopefully get those out by then. I'll upload some pre-recorded video in the next few days. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.